How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay. So today, basically, what we'll be discussing about is, what do you think is the right age for parents to start having sex talk with their kids?
To be honest, excuse me, this is an interesting topic,
Okay.
you know, and I would say these days it's easier than it used to be,
Okay.
you know, in our days, in our time growing up.
Mhm.
It was one topic that our parents avoided.
Yes.
Like, I'm sure most people my age, or
Yeah.
even a bit younger,
Younger.
never had this talk with their
Yes,
parents
that's
because
true.
parents saw it as that sacred. I
About
mean,
it.
it's actually not easy to bring yourself to have this
Discussion.
discussion, except you've built a certain kind of relationship
Relationship.
with your children. But
Exactly.
coming back to the topic,
Mm.
um, before now, it wasn't something they start early,
Okay.
but with the world we find ourselves in, the
Mm-hmm.
social media,
Media.
everything happening, I
Exactly.
think the earlier the better.
Okay.
Because sometimes it amazes you
Mm.
how much they know.
Exactly.
Even at a very young age,
Mm-hmm.
they know so much.
Much.
A 6 years old can tell you so much about relationship
Relationship.
and sex. And
Exactly.
you wonder, where did he
Get
get
it
that
from?
from? So talking about age, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion,
Yeah.
I think everyone have their
Of
opinion.
course, that's
But
true.
in my opinion, I
Mm-hmm.
think again, before we get to the
Age.
age,
Okay.
it depends, you introduce it.
Mm-hmm.
you know
Gradually.
yes, when we talk about sex,
Mm-hmm.
it's age appropriate.
Yeah.
So for a 6 years old, what you tell them about relationship,
Relationship.
about sex,
Mm-hmm.
differs from what you tell a 10-year-old.
That's
Even for
true.
a 10-year-old, it
It's
differs from what you tell a 15 years old. So
absolutely.
at a young age, say maybe from six, or even
Mm-hmm.
earlier, you first of all start teaching them about
See.
privacy,
Mm-hmm.
their bodies
Mm-hmm.
being private to them,
Then.
strangers not touching it, how they should protect it and all that.
Exactly.
And then when you get to like 9, 10,
Mm-hmm.
you can start talking to them about, the touching, the
Yeah.
kissing, how they shouldn't get into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the age, I think it
Great.
graduates to when you can actually have the sex talk, where
Mm-hmm.
you can talk about pregnancy, the consequences and all
Consequences.
that. But I think the earlier you start creating the awareness,
The
the better
better.
for them. Yeah.
That's true. I really think, but parents are usually very shy.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say, at what age should I even start talking to my kids about this? You understand? And as you have rightly said, I think the earlier the better, because if you understand that and telling your kids, be careful, this instead of just leaving them, till maybe they are like 14,
No,
15.
that's so
No.
not
In
unsafe.
our time, it was
My parents never had that talk with me.
me
They
too.
never had that talk with me, to be honest. But it
Now,
is what it
yes,
is.
and now if you refuse to teach them, they will learn from their friends.
I was going to say that.
So it's something you just have to start.
It's something from home.
Yeah.
It's not
So
easy to bring ourselves to have this discussion, but
honestly,
as
it's
a
not easy.
mother, as a father, as a
Mm.
parent, you
Mm-hmm.
should know it's part of your responsibilities.
Mm.
Is a talk you must have with
Must.
them before they
Absolutely.
become teenagers,
Teenagers.
before they start becoming aware of themselves.
Selves.
For the girls,
Mm-hmm.
before they start realizing how beautiful
Beautiful
they
they
are,
are.
before they start getting really attractive, before the boys start coming around,
Exactly.
because if you don't,
Mm.
their friends in school will. If
Exactly.
you don't,
Mm.
social media
Media.
will.
Mm-hmm.
And these days, there are different
Ways.
ways, there are different understanding, perversions, and all of that.
Exactly.
So you have to let them know
No.
whatever you
Live.
believe,
Yeah.
whatever your belief is
Mm-hmm.
about sex,
Mm.
and all of that.
That's
You
true.
start teaching them early
Early.
from home. Like I
Yeah.
said, introduce it from stage to stage,
Gradually.
gradually, until you get to that point. Read books,
Mm-hmm.
go online,
Line.
do researches. And I'm a Christian,
Okay.
okay,
Mm.
and not every book
Mm.
will speak to my
But
values
that's
and
true.
what I think.
That's
So I
true.
would go online, like I have done that before. As a matter of fact, if you check my phone,
Mm.
I've got lots of apps. When my kids, I've got teenagers now,
Okay.
and
Mm.
I got to that point where I got worried, like, okay, how do I have this talk with them? I even
How
bought
do I
books.
start?
Like, I have books on that. I
Yeah.
bought some books. I went online.
Nice.
How do I talk to my children about
Okay.
sex? And you see so many materials that
Yes,
will help you.
That's
So
true.
you put things together, and the courage will be there.
There.
And I think you'll be able to have that talk.
Okay.
But the earlier you start introducing
Introducing
it, the
them.
better, because they already know.
Yeah,
As
that's
early
true.
as 6, as
6
young
years.
as 7,
7.
they
Yeah.
have an idea.
Thank you so much. It was nice having you.
Same here.